The stars above shone bright as the grand ballroom of the Zarian embassy floated above Earth in orbit. The wide glass walls revealed a stunning view of the blue planet below. It was a historic evening. Humans and Zarians were celebrating the first official peace treaty between their worlds. Ambassadors, soldiers, scientists, and royalty from both species gathered in elegant attire. Humans wore their finest suits and dresses, while the Zarians, tall and graceful with shimmering skin tones and glowing eyes, wore long robes covered in ancient symbols. Among the crowd was Leo Grant, a young human diplomat. He wasn't the most experienced, but he was chosen for this event because of his calm nature, his ability to stay respectful, and his open heart. He stood near the back, holding a glass of sparkling juice, trying not to draw attention, but attention was already looking for him. From the center of the room, on a raised golden platform, Queen Elira of Zaria stood tall in her royal blue robe. Her silver crown sparkled with crystals from her homeworld. Her expression was calm, proud, and unreadable, until her bright violet eyes found Leo's. A hush fell across the room as Queen Elira stepped forward. Her voice was soft, yet powerful, and every word echoed perfectly. Tonight, I wish to honor the human race in a way that has never been done before. The crowd leaned in. I ask for a human to join me in the Zarian ceremonial dance of peace. Gasps spread among both human and alien guests. The dance was considered sacred. No outsider had ever been invited to it. Queen Elira looked directly at Leo. You, Leo Grant, will you dance with me? Leo blinked, stunned. His glass nearly slipped from his hand. Why him? Why not the ambassador? Or someone more important? He felt hundreds of eyes on him. A few humans whispered in confusion. Some Zarians looked displeased, others curious. Leo swallowed hard. He could feel his heart beating fast. But then he saw the queen's face. Not cold or demanding, but hopeful. There was something soft in her eyes. Something human. I would be honored, Your Majesty, Leo finally said. Queen Elira gave a small nod and music began to play. A gentle, otherworldly tune full of strings and strange humming sounds. It came from no clear source, as if the very air was singing. The dance floor in the middle of the room lit up with soft golden lights. Leo stepped onto it slowly, nervous, but determined. Elira joined him, standing at arm's length. For a moment, they just stood still. Then she raised her hand, palm open. Leo mimicked her. The dance began. It was not like any human dance. There were no fast movements or sharp turns. Every motion was smooth, full of meaning. A step to the left meant offering peace. A hand to the sky meant respect. A slow turn meant unity. Leo watched her carefully, copying as best he could. At first he felt clumsy. He moved with hesitation, trying not to step wrong. But Elira didn't laugh or judge. She moved slowly, giving him time to catch up. Soon, something shifted. Leo stopped copying and started feeling. He didn't know how, but his body began to follow the rhythm on its own. His heart matched the beat of the music. His steps matched hers. And then, their movements became one. The golden floor lit up brighter under their feet. The room had gone silent. Even the air felt heavier, as if the whole galaxy was watching this moment. Queen Elira closed her eyes for a second, as if feeling something deep inside. The music reached its final note. They both stepped back at the same time, placed their palms together in the air, and bowed their heads. The room remained quiet for a few long seconds. Then, the Zarians began to clap, not with their hands but with a soft tapping of fingers against their chests, a sign of deep respect. The humans followed. With applause, some standing, the ambassador wiped a tear from his eye. Leo stepped back, trying to stay humble, but Elira reached out and touched his shoulder lightly. You did not just dance, she said softly. You listened. Leo didn't know what to say, but he smiled, and she smiled back. The moment passed, but something had changed, not just in the room, but in the space between two worlds, and the night was only beginning. After the dance ended, Leo felt like the air around him had changed. It wasn't just about the ceremony anymore. Something bigger had started, and he was standing right in the middle of it. The applause slowly faded, and music returned to the hall, lighter and less serious. But Queen Elira didn't stay on the dance floor. She stepped down quietly and motioned for Leo to follow her. He hesitated, unsure if he should, but her gentle nod gave him confidence. They passed through a curtain of soft golden fabric and entered a private chamber connected to the ballroom. It was quiet and filled with strange blue lights coming from floating orbs that hovered in the air. The walls showed moving images of stars, planets, and glowing nebula, a peaceful reminder of the galaxy outside. Queen Elira walked to the center and turned toward him. "You were not afraid," she said, calmly. Leo stood straight, though his heart was still racing. "I was nervous, but I didn't want to disappoint you." Her expression remained unreadable for a moment, then softened. "That was not just a dance, Leo. It was a test of connection, mind, body, and presence. You moved with meaning. That means something to my people." Leo didn't fully understand what she meant, but he nodded respectfully. "I only tried to match your rhythm." "That was enough," she replied. There was a short silence, then she asked, "Have you heard of the ancient Zarian bond called Sharain?" Leo shook his head. "No, Your Majesty." "It's an ancient tradition, a bond that forms when two souls match during a sacred act. In our history, it happened between warriors, leaders, sometimes even strangers. It is rare and powerful." Leo blinked. "You think we formed that?" "I felt something," she said honestly. "And I know my people did too. There hasn't been a moment like this in generations." He couldn't believe it. He was just a junior diplomat. He wasn't even supposed to attend the event at first. Now he was standing in front of an alien queen, talking about spiritual connections. Just as he was about to respond, a sharp alarm rang out. The blue lights turned red. The floating orbs disappeared. A robotic voice announced in both Zarian and English, "Security breach. Unauthorized presence detected in Sector 3. All leaders must remain in place." Elira's expression turned serious. "Stay close to me." Two Zarian guards entered quickly, speaking in fast tones. The queen listened, then turned to Leo. "There has been an intrusion, armed. They may be here for me, or the treaty." "Who would attack during a peace event?" Leo asked. "Those who fear peace," Elira replied. "Enemies of both our kinds." The guards began guiding them toward a hidden exit at the back of the chamber. Leo followed, feeling the tension rise in his chest. They walked quickly through quiet halls. Red lights flashed on the walls. Strange symbols lit the floor, guiding them like arrows. Suddenly, a loud explosion shook the floor. The sound of energy weapons echoed through the corridor. The guards raised their blasters, and Elira pulled Leo behind a large metal pillar. She looked at him seriously. "You don't have to be here. There is an escape pod down that hallway. Go. Save yourself." Leo stared at her. "And leave you? After you trusted me? After what we just did out there?" "You're not a soldier," she said gently. "No," Leo said firmly, "but I'm a human, and we don't run from danger when someone needs help." Elira looked into his eyes. For a moment, time stopped. Then she gave a small nod. "Very well. Stay close." They moved together, ducking behind cover, following the guards. Around the next corner, they were ambushed by 3 masked attackers dressed in black armor. The guards fired quickly, hitting one, but one of the guards went down. Leo grabbed the fallen guard's energy blade, not thinking, just acting. When another attacker came close, Leo slashed the blade low, tripping him. Elira used a shock device hidden in her robe and disabled the last attacker with quick precision. When the moment ended, they both stood still, breathing heavily. Leo's hand was shaking. "I didn't even think, You protected me," Elira said. "Just like the prophecy." Prophecy? He asked. Later, she said, taking his arm. We have to reach safety. They reached a secure chamber deep below the embassy, a room protected by ancient Zarian technology. The walls were thick crystal, humming with power. Once inside, the doors locked shut behind them. Elira stood in the center of the room, then looked at Leo. You are more than what you think. You have passed the dance of peace. You defended your queen, and now you carry the mark of Sharain. Leo wasn't sure what to say. Rest now, she said. The path ahead will not be easy, but it will be remembered. As she turned away, Leo sat down slowly, trying to make sense of everything. A dance, a bond, a fight, and now a prophecy. Whatever was happening, one thing was clear. His life was never going to be the same again. The safe chamber was quiet. The walls gave off a low hum, like the heartbeat of a sleeping giant. Leo sat on the floor, breathing slowly. His hand still tingled from the energy blade he had used earlier. He looked at his palms. They were sweaty, dirty, and slightly shaking. Across from him, Queen Elira stood tall, but she was clearly deep in thought. She didn't speak for a while. She simply watched the glowing crystals on the wall as if searching for answers. Finally, she turned toward him. You were not meant to be just a guest tonight, she said softly. Leo looked up. What do you mean? There is something I didn't tell anyone. Not even my council, she continued. The dance of peace. It wasn't just to show unity between our worlds. It was also part of an ancient test, one that would reveal the resonant one. Leo blinked. You mentioned that term before. What does it mean? In Zarian history, she explained, there is a legend. It speaks of a time when the bond between our people and another race would shape the future of the galaxy. A connection so rare, it could only be found during the sacred dance. Only one who moves with heart and harmony, not with power or pride, could awaken it. She paused. I didn't expect it to happen. Not with a human, not with you. But when you danced with me, something lit up inside the floor beneath us. Only I could feel it. Only I could sense it. Leo tried to understand her words. So what happens now? I don't know, she said honestly. But I believe something important began tonight. Something we can't ignore. Leo stood up slowly. And what about the attackers? Do you think they came for you because of this prophecy? Elira's face grew serious. There are those in the galaxy who fear change, who fear peace. The moment our alliance grew stronger, it became a threat to their power. She walked over to a hidden console on the wall and pressed her hand on it. A holographic map appeared, showing the embassy and its surrounding space. Red blinking dots moved closer. They've placed a blockade around the station, she said. No one can leave. Leo looked at the screen. So we're trapped? Not trapped, she said. Tested. He tilted his head. Tested? Yes, she replied. This is what the old texts warned about. If a resonant one is found, enemies will rise quickly, trying to stop the bond before it can grow. Before Leo could answer, a voice came from the speaker near the door. It was a calm but cold voice speaking in Zarian, then in English. This is Commander Jarek of the Broken Talon Syndicate. Surrender the human and the queen. No one else needs to be harmed. Leo and Elira exchanged looks. Who are they? Leo asked. Mercenaries, she said, but not ordinary ones. They were once part of our royal guard, until they turned against us. They now sell their strength to the highest bidder. So this is more than just politics? Elira nodded. Much more. She pressed a few buttons on the console and opened a secret panel in the floor. Inside was a small device glowing blue. She picked it up and handed it to Leo. This is a beacon, she said. It's programmed to call one of our old warships, the Serenthia. It's hidden beyond the moon in deep stealth mode, but it will only come if the beacon's code is verified by both of us. Leo looked at it. Then let's activate it. We can't yet, she said. The signal needs time to grow stronger. If we activate it now, they could trace it and destroy it before it reaches the ship. Leo understood. So we have to protect it until the signal is ready. Illyra gave a small nod. Yes, and that means we stay alive. Together. Just then, the chamber shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. An explosion had gone off somewhere, nearby. They're breaching the lower levels, Illyra said. They'll find this room soon. Leo looked around. We need a way to slow them down. Illyra pressed another button on the wall. A drawer opened with 2 energy pistols. She handed one to Leo. I hope you still remember how to aim, she said with a slight smile. I only learned a few hours ago, he replied, but I'm a fast learner. They left the chamber and entered a narrow hallway lit by emergency lights. It was quiet, but too quiet. Every step echoed off the metal walls. Suddenly, a flash of light, and 3 attackers jumped from the side, firing energy bolts. Leo ducked and returned fire, hitting one in the shoulder. Illyra moved like a trained fighter, using the walls for cover, firing sharp and accurate shots. They fought side by side, each protecting the other, moving as one. There was no time to think, only to act. After several minutes, the hallway grew, silent again. Smoke filled the air. We have to keep moving, Illyra said, breathing heavily. They reached another secure door and entered what looked like an old command center. Inside were old screens, dusty control panels, and worn chairs. This place hasn't been used in years, she said. But it's perfect. They set the beacon on the table in the middle and placed protective shields around it. Leo leaned back against the wall. Do you think your ship will really come? It will, Illyra said, if we hold out long enough. He looked at her and nodded. Then let's do just that. As the lights flickered above them and sounds of battle echoed in the distance, Leo realized something powerful. He was no longer just a diplomat. He was part of something much greater, something written in stars long before he was born, and the dance was only the beginning. The command center was cold and dark, but Leo felt a strange sense of calm as he and Queen Illyra prepared for the next move. The protective shields around the beacon hummed softly, casting faint blue light across the room. Illyra studied the old control panels. This station was built for war, she said quietly. But no one has fought here for decades. It's almost forgotten. Leo nodded, scanning the room for anything useful. We can use anything here to help us. Suddenly, the door hissed and opened slightly. 2 Zarian soldiers slipped inside, faces tense but determined. Your Majesty, the blockade is tightening, one reported. Enemy ships are closing in. Fast. Illyra's face hardened. We must act quickly. The soldiers placed additional energy cells around the beacon. This will help the signal reach the Serenthia faster, one said. Leo watched, impressed by their skill and calm. So, how long before help arrives? The soldier shook his head. We don't know. Could be minutes, could be hours. Leo glanced at Illyra. She seemed smaller in the dim light but stronger than ever. We have to hold on, she said. Together. They waited. Time passed slowly. Outside, the soft rumble of engines and distant explosions reminded them of the battle raging. Leo's mind wandered back to the dance. How simple it had seemed, and yet how much it had changed everything. He wondered what the people outside thought. Had they seen the bond? The dance that broke old rules and opened new paths? A sudden vibration shook the room. The power flickered. We're running out of energy, the soldiers warned. If the beacon dies, so does our chance. Illyra looked to Leo. We must keep the station's main generator alive. It's deep in the lower levels. Leo's heart pounded. I'll go. You stay here and protect the beacon. She shook her head. No. We face this together. Without another word, they moved toward the exit. The corridor was dark and silent. As they descended deeper, they felt the weight of the station pressing down on them. The generator room was cold, filled, with large machines and pipes that hummed with energy. But the damage was clear. Sparks flew from broken panels and smoke filled the air. Leo searched for controls while Elira guarded the door. He found a console and began working, pressing buttons and flipping switches. "This is old tech, but it still runs," he said. Suddenly the lights went out. The room was plunged into darkness. Leo's hands froze. Elira's voice came softly from the shadows. "Stay calm." Leo switched on a small handheld light. In the faint glow, they heard footsteps. Enemies were closing in. "Get ready," Elira whispered. The door crashed open. Several masked figures stormed inside. Leo raised his pistol, firing quickly. Elira moved like lightning, disabling 2 attackers with precision strikes. Leo dodged a blow and countered, using his energy blade to block and strike. The fight was fierce but brief. The attackers fell back, wounded. Leo's breath came fast. "We need to fix the generator." Elira nodded. "I will cover you." Leo returned to the console, working frantically. Sweat dripped down his face. After moments that felt like hours, the machines roared back to life. Lights flickered on. The humming energy returned. "Yes," Leo said. Elira smiled faintly. "Well done." Suddenly a soft beep came from the beacon chamber, an incoming message. They rushed back. The beacon glowed brightly now, sending a signal deep into space. The holographic map showed a small dot moving rapidly toward the station. "It's the Serenthia," Elira said. Relief flooded Leo's chest, but then alarms blared. The enemy had found their location. "We don't have much time," the soldier warned. Elira grabbed Leo's hand. "Come, we must leave now." They ran through twisting corridors to the docking bay. The Serenthia was a sleek warship hidden beneath layers of stealth technology. The boarding ramp lowered with a hiss. As they stepped aboard, Elira looked at Leo. "You have done more than dance. You have fought beside me. You are not just a guest. You are my partner." Leo felt warmth spread through him. The ship's engines started. The Serenthia slipped away from the blockade, disappearing into the stars. Elira led him to a quiet observation room. They watched the galaxy swirl around them. "I told you about the prophecy," she said. Leo nodded. She smiled softly. "I believe. We are the future. 2 races joined by courage, trust, and a dance." Leo reached out, taking her hand. "As long as we face it together," he said. Outside, the stars shone brighter than ever, welcoming a new era. The Serenthia moved silently through the stars. Its engines hummed softly, and the vast emptiness of space stretched endlessly outside the windows. Leo stood beside Queen Elira in the observation room, watching the distant planets and glowing nebulae drift by. For a long moment, neither spoke. The calm after the storm was deep, but the weight of everything they had faced still rested heavily on their shoulders. Elira broke the silence. "We survived, but the galaxy has not changed yet." Leo nodded. "The Broken Talon Syndicate will not give up easily. They want to keep the galaxy divided and weak." She looked at him with calm determination. "Then we will show them something new. A new way." Leo smiled softly. "You mean the alliance between humans and Zarians?" "More than an alliance," Elira said. "A bond, like the one formed in the dance. A bond of trust, respect, and courage." Leo looked down, thinking about how far they had come. A simple dance had become a symbol of hope. A human and an alien, queen, joined not just by ceremony but by real understanding. Suddenly, the ship's alarm beeped softly. The captain's voice came over the speakers. "Queen Elira, Ambassador Leo, we have reached Earth's orbit, ready for arrival." The room filled with a quiet excitement. This was the moment to return home, to bring the message of peace and strength. As the Serenthia docked at the Earth spaceport, crowds gathered to welcome the Queen and her new human companion. Cameras flashed, and voices cheered. Leo felt nervous, but proud. Elira walked with grace, her presence commanding respect from all around. The peace treaty was signed again, this time with even greater promise. Leaders from many worlds attended, inspired by the story of the dance and the brave human who had stood beside the queen. During the grand ceremony, Elira surprised everyone once more. She stepped forward and bowed deeply, not just to her own people, but to Leo. "You have shown the galaxy the power of unity," she said. "Today we begin a new era." Leo stepped forward, overwhelmed by the moment. "I only did what any human would do, to protect and to trust." Laughter and applause filled the hall. In the days that followed, Leo and Elira worked closely to strengthen the bond between their worlds. They traveled together, meeting new leaders and sharing stories of courage. Sometimes at night they would dance again, not as a test, but as a celebration of hope. Their dance was no longer just a ritual. It was a promise that even the greatest differences could be bridged by understanding and bravery, and in the hearts of humans and Zarians alike, a new light was born. The dance that began with a simple invitation had changed the course of the stars.